I've got a long list of grievances for Jason. I'm just waiting for the go-ahead to start. Okay, good. Yes. Now, a couple little things here. If at any time in the past, ever, you've used the terms, I called and talked to Jason, or emailed Jason, and expected something to get done correctly, I have news for you. That is not something you ever want to say again. At that same token, if there was a ticket holdup, sorry, Julie, Trish, at least kind of early, but that's also a Jason thing. He probably should have gotten those to you. For our senior parents, our last Jason grievance, nothing better than late April, early May. Calendars are real light. We don't got a lot going on. Spring sports wrapping up, summer sports. I think there was a band thing one Wednesday. Last week was scholarships. We got sporting stuff tonight. Next week is, I think, another academic one. So if some of those senior parents are going, wow, we're kind of busy this time of year. We got a few other things on our mind. Hopefully, maybe, Brindley's getting a little bit older, maybe Jason will mess with that calendar once he goes through it once or twice, and we'll move some of these events to like early April when it's not quite as busy. So with that being said, we actually have a pretty awesome night tonight with several really awesome Hall of Fame inductions, and then obviously honoring our senior athletes. So we'll get started with Scott Campbell introducing the Hall of Fame introductions, and then after that we'll get to our seniors.
Thank you, Zeb. For those of you who may not know, in my former role as editor of the North Scott Press, I had the privilege of covering all things North Scott for more than 40 years. I know firsthand how elite this school district is and how special it is to be a Lancer. Congratulations to you seniors up back for helping to continue that legacy. There are times that I wish that I was still covering your exploits, but I know that you're in good hands with Ross Schimber. Tonight really is all about you and recognizing and celebrating the tremendous success you've enjoyed over the past 4 years. However, North Scott would not be where it is today without a rich and storied past. And that's why we gather tonight to honor 3 special individuals and 1 very deserving team, all who have made significant contributions to North Scott's legacy. Tonight, they will join many who came before them as we induct them into the North Scott Athletic Hall of Fame. I had a ringside seat to each of their illustrious careers. I witnessed firsthand their athletic and coaching prowess. And believe me, they have all earned this incredible honor. And so we begin, and ladies first. To put the 2002 Girls State Softball Championship season into perspective, you have to rewind the Lancer highlight reel to the summer of 1998, when North Scott began a 4-year stretch that saw the Lancers post 200 total wins and just 21 losses, all while making 4 trips to the state tournament and bringing home back-to-back 4th place and back-to-back 2nd place finishes. The architect of that program and the man at the helm was Hall of Fame coach Dennis Johnson. And when the North Scott School Board forced Johnson to choose between being a softball coach or an athletic director, Johnson headed into the 2001 campaign knowing it would be his last. That season, when the Lancers were still getting warmed up, Johnson already had his AD hat on and was phoning a friend. On the other end of the line was one of his former players, 1994 graduate and all-state shortstop, Lori Osterberg. She was sitting in the outfield bleachers at the NCAA championships in Oklahoma City, just one day after her LSU team, where she was an assistant, had been eliminated. Johnson was doing his best to convince his former star to return to North Scott and take over the dynasty that he had built. By the end of the conversation, Osterberg said yes. With that one word, the first piece of that 2002 state championship run had been secured. Nearly 3 months later, within days of North Scott's second place finish, Osterberg was officially named the next coach of the Lancers. Now fast forward to the spring of 2002, and expectations were running high in Lancer Nation. After all, they returned 7 starters from that state runner-up team and were ranked number 1 in the preseason rankings. However, change was in the air. Not only did the Lancers have a new coach, but only 2 of those returning starters were playing the same positions they manned the year before. In my preseason interview with Osterberg, she minced no words. She said it's a big deal to step into Johnson's coaching box, but I'm excited about the challenge. However, there will definitely be a period of adjustment. To be clear, there were several girls who played for Johnson 2 or 3 years, and although Osterberg was a Johnson disciple, she had to be true to herself and do things her way. The girls will just have to adjust to that and learn to live with it, she said. It's not going to be easy. There will be times they wish he was still in charge. She was wrong. That transition ended up being seamless, and in the end, it turned out to be a match made in softball heaven. The Lancers were loaded with talent that year and led by a pair of returning All-State pitchers, senior Ann Wiley and freshman Angie Hartwig. Junior Leslie Schnack got the nod behind the plate in the infield, first to third, featuring senior Lisa Kirby, junior Allison Erickson, sophomore Eden Olson, and junior Nikki Furden. The outfield, left to right, showcased sophomore Lindsay Schneckloth, junior Mindy Heikerken, and sophomore Natalie Gluns. The Lancers were a literal juggernaut as they posted a 48-1 regular season mark, with the one and only blip being a forgettable 3-0 loss to Burlington. It was a great summer to be a Lancer fan as both the baseball and softball teams captured coveted Mississippi Athletic Conference titles, with Osterberg's girls doing so with a 16-1 record. Without a doubt, the Lancers were primed for a lengthy postseason run. They opened the district tournament with a 6-3 win over Pleasant Valley and followed that up with a 9-0 shutout of Davenport West. North Scott rolled to a 10-0 win over Dubuque Senior in the regional semifinals and locked down their trip to Fort Dodge with a gutsy 2-1 win over Dubuque Wahlert. Their 3-game run in Fort Dodge was not for the faint of heart and had Lancer fans on the edge of their seats more times than they would have liked. North Scott drew Fort Dodge in the quarterfinals, and they ended up taking an incredible and improbable comeback to keep the Lancers' title hopes alive with a 12-inning, 5-4 victory. That victory propelled them into a Friday semifinal against a semifinal foe, and they had little trouble in dispatching and claiming a 6-1 win over MAC rival Bettendorf. And that advanced them to their 3rd straight title game. This time, they weren't to be denied. The foe was West Des Moines Dowling. The Lancers were held hitless for 5 innings and trailed 2-0 going into the 6th. Osterberg, always confident, was not worried. Entering the 6th, I think that assistant coach Jay Shelf and I had a better feeling than anybody else, she said. We saw that same look we've been seeing all year long, and when we're down. That look says, it's okay. We're going to answer back, and we're going to score. And score, the Lancers did. North Scott plated 4 runs in the electrifying 6th inning and added 2 more insurance runs in the 7th as they sealed a 55-1 state championship season with a 6-2 victory. All of a sudden, it was game over, dream fulfilled, Hall of Fame ticket punched. Think about that, 55 wins, the most in school history, and just 1 loss. Tonight, it's time for them to officially claim their spot in Lancer lore as the 6th team to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Tonight, we welcome to the stage the 2002 state championship softball team, and we're going to do it in style. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's state championship game from 2002. between the West Des Moines Dowling Maroons and your North Scott Lancers. First, when your name is called, ladies, head up to the stage. First, the coaching staff for the Lancers: Assistant Coach Jay Shelf, Assistant Coach Leah Raines, Assistant Coach Christy Dalton, and Assistant Coach Nancy Shannon. And the head coach of the Lancers is Lori Osterberg. Now let's meet the non-starters in that championship game. Freshman Angela Hartwig. Freshman Courtney Pennell. Freshman Stephanie Leibel. Freshman Sarah Keelan. Freshman Michelle Schneck. Freshman Kara Gluns. Sophomore Kendra Suter. And junior Ashley Schwartz. And now let's meet your state championship starting lineup. Leading off and playing second base, number 5, junior Allison Erickson. Batting second and playing third base, number 1, junior Nikki Ferdin. Batting third and playing center field, number 11, junior Mindy Heidgerken. Batting cleanup and playing first base, number 8, senior Lisa Kirby. Doing the catching and batting fifth, number 9, junior is Leslie Schneck. Batting sixth and playing left field, number 3, sophomore Lindsay Sheckler. Batting seventh and playing shortstop tonight, number 7, sophomore Eden Olson. Batting eighth, the designated hitter, freshman Brittany Suter. Batting ninth and playing right field, number 18, sophomore Natalie Glund. And doing the pitching, wearing number 17, senior Ann Wiley. Welcome to the Hall of Fame, your 2002 Girls State Softball Championship team.
Well, thank you to the North Scott Hall of Fame Committee for this honor and opportunity to reunite with this special 2002 team. A team with amazing accomplishments from that year. But we have to begin by recognizing our legendary coach of the Lady Lancers softball, Dennis Johnson. He had so much to do with pouring into these girls in their youth and establishing the tradition and program by which they could experience success. As a young first-year head coach, I was handed this gift, this team of pure athletes who already knew how to compete. So my job was just don't get in the way. Our catcher had the game smarts to call a game, and our pitchers were propelled by a defense who did not let balls through. Our hitters 1 through 9, they were extremely tough outs. They were the perfect balance of power and speed. Our seniors, Ann and Lisa, were servant leaders. They were not above doing the dirty work. They treasured every day, knowing that this was their final season. Overall, these girls bought into the expect to win standard that was really becoming the expectation at North Scott around that time. A great deal of their confidence came from our cutting-edge weight room and our program that valued female athletes. We benefited from that. This softball team was known across the state for its physical talent and mental toughness. We were a team that was nearly impossible to beat. But as their coach, I saw that this was a team that played from their hearts, from the inside out. They tapped into a deeper purpose, and they showed it by, they were a championship team that took the field courageously, and they played with enthusiasm, and that was the one thing I really wanted to see out of them. They were a fun team to watch. They brought in the entire community, and they did this for 55 wins and a state championship, so pretty impressive. I had so much fun coaching these girls, and I really treasure, I value the memories. It's fun to see them tonight as mothers and just upstanding women. Congratulations, you guys, so very well deserved.
Thanks, Coach. Okay, good evening. I'm Eden Pearson, and like it was announced, I played shortstop for this team, and I'm so happy to be able to talk about them and about our time there. Like Coach O said, this is a team that bought into Lancer softball from the very beginning. It was a program that set the standard for excellence and discipline across the state at the time. We made the trip to Fort Dodge from 1998 as a program to 2001, and many of the people on the stage, as you remember, we fell just short of our goal. And that history is important because there's a very long bus ride back from Fort Dodge to Eldridge when you have a feeling of almost. We carried that with us not as pressure but as fuel. When Coach O addressed the team in 2002, her very first season, she told us from the very beginning, I hate second place. And in her God-given way, Coach O set a fire. It was her passion for softball. It was her expectation for excellence on and off the field. She asked us to play humble and hungry. She asked us to play for our team. And most importantly, to play for an audience of one. But our coaching staff all around was simply the best. Coach Chelf was calm and confident, and he set a tone that even if you were down, you were never out of any game. We had assistant coaches that were not only great, they were Hall of Famers themselves. Thank you for pouring into us with your time and your talent. It is indescribable to be able to play for people who, if they could have, they would have been on the field with us. Probably out hustling us, probably out playing us, and we knew it. And so that's where that enthusiasm and energy came from. We had talent. There's several Hall of Famers on the stage already that have been inducted as individuals. But what set our team apart was our culture and character. It was welcoming. It was fun. The upperclassmen set the tone with a heavy dose of personality. Looking at Lisa and Ann. Lots of laughter. The best part was we got to do it together. The best memories that we have to go off, when we lifted, Coach O was actually there with us, lifting alongside of us. We would have morning practices, and Coach O would crank the music and try and let us hit home runs. When runs wouldn't come one tournament, Coach Osterberg told us, why don't you put some pretzels up on the board? They don't have scoreboards anymore, so it's hard to say that to kids. Our pitchers were injured that season. They went to physical therapy together, and they worked every single game. They never let any game get out of our grasp. They made it possible for us to win the games that we did, so thank you to them for all their hard work. One of the things that I loved about our style of play was that we could hit the ball really, really well. I read one of the articles recently that said, when you play Lancer softball, they're just relentless. And that's what I remember. I just remember our bats were always hot, and we had a lot of fun running the bases. We were never alone. The Lancer community, I don't think at 16 you realize how blessed you are to play in front of a community that there are chairs there and you know who's sitting in them. There's kids catching home run balls and running them back to you. We were never alone. So thank you to the community for being there with us. Those are memories we'll never forget. Notably, our first game at Fort Dodge, we found ourselves losing by 2. There were 2 outs, no runners left on base, and we were 1 out away from that feeling of almost and that very long bus ride home. I think that's where Coach Chelf said very simply, answer back. And we did, and the rest is history. 55-1, notably and most importantly a 42-game win streak that got us to the championship. This journey doesn't start in high school, it starts on the city dusty fields when our youth coaches and parents took us there and started us on the softball journey. For me, that was my mom and my uncle, but everybody on stage has someone like that. So thank you to the youth coaches and to our parents for believing us and teaching us the hard lessons of softball. We could not have done it without you. Thanks to the Hall of Fame committee for getting us together. Yeah. Well,
Over the years, there have been many North Scott athletes with illustrious careers deemed Hall of Fame worthy. They've earned the title Lancer Legends, and using the basketball analogy, would be considered Hall of Fame slam dunks. 118 have already been honored. Others are just biding their time and waiting for the letter in the mail. It's written in the Hall of Fame bylaws that a candidate doesn't become eligible until 10 years after graduation. When the committee meets each winter, the conversation often goes something like this. How long should we wait? Would it mean more to them if we waited until they had kids or families to share it with? Or should we just induct them now? Opinions are shared, debates are robust. The vote is taken. In recent years, the trend has always been, it's okay to wait a while. Rarely is an athlete a first ballot slam dunk. This year was different. Gaining All-American status and making the state swimming championships your own personal splash pad for 4 straight years has a way of changing your thinking. And when the final vote was taken in February by the 9-member committee, Evan Huntley was 1 vote shy of being a unanimous selection. Evan Huntley, in her first year of eligibility, was a slam dunk. The fact that she attended a school without a swimming pool makes Evan's induction even more remarkable. But thanks to North Scott's co-op agreement with Pleasant Valley, she is the first female swimmer to earn Hall of Fame status at North Scott, and joins Mike Griggs as the only 2 Lancer swimmers to ever be inducted. That is what you call making a big splash. Just think of this for a minute. This was Evan's schedule during the fall swimming season. Alarm goes off in her Parkview home at 4:45 a.m. By 5:30, she's in the PV pool for a 75-minute workout. By 8 a.m., she's pulling into the North Scott parking lot, maybe fast, for her first period class, where, by the way, she graduated with a 4.0 GPA. And then by 3:30, she's back at PV for a 2-hour practice. Then it's home for supper, homework, and then bed. While that schedule was hectic and time management a must, all the hard work paid off, and the numbers don't lie, which ultimately swayed the Hall of Fame committee this year. Over the course of 4 years, Evan swam in 4 state swim meets. She qualified in 16 total events, the maximum number possible, and brought home 15 state medals. She swam in 8 individual events, captured 7 top 4 finishes, and claimed 7 state medals. In the one individual event when she left the pool empty-handed, she finished 7th, just 1 spot away from the podium. Evan also swam on 8 straight state relay events, where her quartets never finished lower than top 5. She was part of 3 state championship relay teams, with 2 of them earning All-American status. Again, do the math. 16 events, 15 state medals, 3 state championship relay teams, and 2 All-America status. Pleasant Valley was a true powerhouse in the 4 years that Evan wore Spartan blue. Without a doubt, it was considered the glory years for PV swimming. They finished 4th her freshman year, runner-up her sophomore and junior campaigns, and finally climbed to the top of the podium her spectacular senior season, where her Hall of Fame resume grew with every wave, churning, kick, and stroke. How important was Evan to that success? At the state meet in Marshalltown, she had a hand in a team-high 105 of Pleasant Valley's 300 total points. That's more than 1/3. And the Spartans captured their first ever state title. And yes, it was pretty cool that it was a Lancer that led them. Evan may have looked good in Spartan blue, but she truly bled Lancer, scarlet, and silver. While her exploits in the pool had stamped her ticket to the Hall of Fame, her accomplishments wearing North Scott colors were just icing on the Hall of Fame cake. As a freshman, she became Hall eligible by qualifying for the girls' state track meet as a member of the 4x8 relay. As a sophomore, she was a first-team All-MAC and third-team All-State player on the basketball court, where she averaged 13 points, which ranked 21st in the state, and swatted 67 block shots, which ranked 4th. As a junior, Evan was again first-team All-MAC and second-team All-State, averaging nearly 12 points a game and more than 7 rebounds, with 29 block shots, 42 steals, and a team-low 20 turnovers. That year, she sealed her spot in Lancer lore by firing the shot heard round the state when her last-second rebound bucket gave the Lancers a 47-46 win over defending state champion Cedar Rapids Xavier in the regional finals, and launched them to a spot in the state tournament field. Without a doubt, it was undoubtedly one of the most memorable moments in school history, and what an honor it was to be there. As a senior, after her big year in the pool and coming off that state tournament appearance a year earlier, the Lancers entered the season with a lofty number 3 state ranking and returned all 5 starters from that state tournament team. North Scott won 12 of its first 13 games, but then dropped 3 straight before regaining their mojo. In one 5-game stretch in January, Evan averaged 8 points and 10 rebounds, with a game-high 21 rebounds in a win over Assumption. A 71-28 victory on a Friday night over Clinton stopped the bleeding, but the next day, in practice, Evan broke the pinky finger on her left hand. While the shot the year before was heard across the state, the groan that emerged from Lancer Nation when Evan went down was palpable. She was done for the year. The Lancers went on a 6-game winning streak with her on the bench, but suffered a 51-40 loss to Western Dubuque in the regional finals, one step away from a return to state, and in a game where the Lancers sorely missed her rebounding prowess. During her 3-year run on the varsity, the Lancers racked up 49 wins, and although she never led them to a coveted state championship, she was a key cog in the wheel that started an unprecedented North Scott run that eventually led to 3 state titles. Following graduation, she packed her bags for Iowa State University, where she was a 4-year letter winner for the Cyclones, a 3-time academic Big 12 first team selection, and team captain her senior year. At the time of her graduation, she ranked in Iowa State's all-time top 10 in the 100 and 200 meter backstroke and in the top 15 in the 50 freestyle. With Evan, what you saw was what you got. Knitted with humility, kindness, generosity, and a healthy dose of God-given talent, she was a total package, covered in state championship gold-plated wrapping paper, tied up with scarlet and silver Lancer ribbons with a blue PV bow on top. Evan was an All-American in the pool, an All-Stater on the court, and state qualifier on the Lancer track. Tonight, she becomes an official Lancer legend, and we welcome Evan Huntley as the 119th member of the North Scott Hall of Fame.
That made me sound a lot cooler than I felt in high school, I promise you that. It is really an honor to be here tonight. As my family and I were kind of looking back through memories from high school, it was really a reminder of just how many opportunities I had while I was here at North Scott. While those achievements are very fun to hear read back to you, the things that I remember the most are definitely the lessons that I learned and the people that I met that made all that possible while I was here. So for the seniors here tonight, whether you're going to continue your athletic career next year or not, just remember you're walking away with a lot more than you're leaving behind here at North Scott. I have a lot of people to thank tonight, so Jason, no promises, I'm going to keep it to the 3-minute limit. First, I'd like to start with my parents, Mark and Garalee Hunley. They've been my biggest fans since day one. I'm going to try not to get emotional, and just sacrifice so much for me to go chase my dreams. Mom and Dad, thank you for always reminding me that who I was on the inside was more important than any performance I can put together in the pool or on the court. I would also like to thank all of the North Scott coaches that helped me over the years. As Scott said, a lot of my PV, or a lot of my swimming accomplishments are done at PV, but I was only able to do that with the support of those here at North Scott. So to start with my coaches, my dad always has and will be my first and favorite coach. Thank you for inspiring my love of all sports. It's actually pretty fun for me, if I can get myself under control. A lot of my coaches throughout the years in basketball are here in the room tonight. I'm really grateful to be able to thank you in person. So I'd especially like to thank Paula Rucker, Larry and Jason Schroeder, Dave Lindenbrink, TJ Case, and Tony Stewart. You guys have all put so many hours into me over the years and played such a large part of the success that I was able to have. I've really learned so much about leadership and teamwork from all of you that I still carry with me to this day. I would also like to thank the North Scott administration for all the support that they gave to us while we were swimming at Pleasant Valley. I had a good amount of teammates actually going with me every day, which made the carpooling a little bit easier. But I still remember Jason, Shane Kanucky, Joe Stedding showing up to at least one meet a year. They came to our state send-off. They even showed up at our senior night in their scarlet and silver, which I loved, to show us their support and the effort that they took, the effort that they made to make sure we felt a part of the North Scott community, even while we were wearing the Spartan blue, was never unappreciated, so thank you. It did help me get to the next level and go swim at Iowa State, which was one of the most challenging and rewarding experiences of my life. On that note, I would also like to thank my husband who's here with me tonight. While he wasn't a part of my high school career, I was able to meet him at Iowa State. He was on the wrestling team there, and he was an absolute rock through my experience there, and I'm glad that we got to share our collegiate careers together. Lastly, I would like to thank the Hall of Fame committee for inducting me tonight. I'm extremely grateful and humbled to be here. A special thank you to Scott Campbell. He's been a huge part of my life. We went to church together when I was a kid, and I took choir lessons with his wife. Your whole family has just been really amazing to me, so thank you. Okay. I'm gonna wrap it up. So, overall, I just want to thank everyone here tonight. North Scotland is an amazing place to be, and I hope you just really cherish your time here. I know I will always cherish my memories from here, and I will always be proud to be a Lancer. So, thank you.
It was a 2010-2011 school year, and expectations were running high in Lancer Nation. Coach Kevin Tippett's football team was coming off a 5-5 season, but returned 17 letter winners. Seamus Buddy was at the helm of the basketball program. The Lancers were 14-6 the year before and returned 2 of the top players in the MAC. As for baseball coach Blake Hanna, he returned 7 starters from a 20-12 team squad, and he minced no words in saying that the Lancers had the tools to win the MAC. Without question, it was a great time to be a Lancer, and the one common denominator for all that expected success arguably rested on the shoulders of one man. Aaron Huber did not disappoint. Usually when you look at North Scott Hall of Famers, there's success in one sport that typically seals the deal. With Huber, Lancer fans hit the trifecta. At a time when it was becoming more common for athletes to concentrate on 1 or 2 sports, Huber was the anomaly. In fact, he took the term 3-sport star to a whole new level, and actually was truly in a league of his own, and boldly went where no other Lancer had gone before. Huber was a 6'1", 205-pound mass of raw athletic talent, where every opposing coach crafted their defensive game plan around trying to stop him, with very little luck. As a one-of-a-kind tailback and running behind a massive offensive line, Huber set school records by running around, through, and literally over any defender that dared stand in his way, but also had the craftiness to find holes with surgeon-like precision. A 2-year starter for Coach Tippett, he set school records with 1,301 rushing yards, 120 points, and 20 rushing touchdowns in one season. He set career marks with 34 touchdowns and 210 points, and once he scored a record 5 touchdowns in a single game. 3 times he rushed for more than 200 yards in a game, with a career high of 220 in a junior year win over Assumption, where it was Huber left, Huber right, and Huber right up the middle all night long. As a senior, his 2 200-yard games came in back-to-back wins over Davenport West and Davenport Assumption, and perhaps his most memorable outing came in a 31-0 playoff victory over Iowa City West. That win was historic. Just about everybody was predicting a Lancer loss. And on a night where the wind was gusting at 49 miles an hour, and where the Lancers' pistol offense threw only 4 passes, failing to complete a single one, Tippett put the game in the arms and legs of Aaron Huber and his big offensive line, where Aaron rushed for 145 yards and 3 touchdowns in just 3 quarters of action. It was North Scott's first ever playoff victory and was the capstone on just the 3rd 9-win season in school history. Perhaps all-conference quarterback Louis DeFries summed it up best. "It's pretty nice having a 225-pound bowling ball right behind me," he said. "I know I can let him have it, and he makes everything look easy." At the end of the season, Huber was a first-team All-State selection and became just the 2nd Lancer in school history to be named MAC Player of the Year. It was Coach Tippett who put things in perspective. "Aaron's Player of the Year honor was well-deserved," he said. "Just about every team we played designed their defense to slow or stop him, and very few had any success. That award couldn't have gone to a better guy. He's done everything we have asked of him. He's a multi-sport athlete, a quality kid, and a good student. On the basketball court, Huber was known as Mr. Inside, Mr. Outside, where he showcased his ability to nail every type of shot imaginable, from off-balance and fadeaway nothing but net threes to swooping, dipsy-do, gravity-defying drives. He was a total offensive package. Playing alongside fellow senior Brandon Voss, the two formed one of the most formidable duels in school history and led the Lancers to a 16-7 record that culminated with a sub-state final loss to top-ranked and unbeaten Linmar. The two were three-year letter winners for the Lancers, and while Voss finished his career as the school's all-time leading scorer, Huber finished with 660 career points, which ranked 13 on the all-time list. At the end of the season, both were first-team All-MAC selections, while Voss was Player of the Year. Just to give you an idea of how good Huber was, consider a 3-game stretch in January of his senior year where he finished with 24, 21, and a career-high 30 points. In one of those games, he connected on 4 consecutive three-pointers to open the game. And in another, he scored his team's first 9 points. That was something to see. Huber was also a 3-year letter winner on the Diamond, where Coach Hanna said, he is the best athlete in the MAC, hands down. He makes every play at short and bats fourth. He has unbelievable power. He doesn't say a lot, but leads by example with his work ethic. The Lancers racked up 26 wins and finished second in the MAC, 1 game behind Pleasant Valley. He finished the season with a .462 batting average, 54 hits, collected a school record 62 RBIs, and clubbed a school record 11 home runs. He also established new career records for RBIs and homers, and it was no surprise that he was named MAC Player of the Year and second team All-State. Just take 1 second to digest that. Huber was first team All-Conference in 3 sports, first or second team All-State in 2 of them, and named MAC Player of the Year in baseball and football, something no other Lancer had ever accomplished. Those accolades had Hall of Fame written all over them. Without a doubt, Aaron Huber was a man of few words. And there were times, actually many, where I think he was seriously avoiding my interviews. He preferred to let his actions do his talking, and they resonated loud and clear. Huber went on to play basketball at Luther College, following in the footsteps of his sister Sherry, and was a team captain his final year. Along those same lines, he's still following his sister, but tonight he steps out of her shadow. 2 years ago, Sherry Huber stood on this very stage and was inducted into the North Scout Hall of Fame for her softball prowess. Tonight, we welcome Aaron Huber, one of North Scott's most decorated 3-sport stars, to stand right alongside her. Aaron, welcome to the Hall of Fame.
Thank you. I've grown a lot since then, but I just told Scott I definitely did dodge interviews from him. I got pretty good at that. I was always the last person out of the locker room. So I apologize, Scott. We'll give this a whirl here. Hello, Lancer Nation. Thank you for this great honor. It's been a while since I've been back here. I haven't been on this stage since high school speech class, which was with Miss Demfrey. I don't know. I saw the softball team here. You guys maybe have had her. Every time anyone gave a speech and there was a good point, she would always give this face. She's like, so I'm picturing you all just going through this entire speech. I I did get an A in speech class, believe it or not, unlike my good friend. He ended up being the valedictorian of our class. Speech was his lone A minus. He got an A in all his AP classes, college classes, but for some reason, the cat had his tongue, and the grade ruined his mom's Christmas, so if Matt McKinney's here, he knows who I'm talking about. Standing here tonight was always a goal of mine since I was a little boy, looking up at my dad's picture in Maquoketa Valley in their Hall of Fame. And it's not Maquoketa, it's Maquoketa Valley, different school. My dad, Barry Huber, was my first coach, my biggest hero, and the reason I am who I am. Sorry, the tears from you too got me. He coached me in every sport. He coached my brother and my sister as well. I still don't know how he did it all. There are seasons where he had 3 teams on AAU that he was coaching at the same time. People always joke about kids hating their dad, that their dad was their coach. That was never my story. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. My dad didn't just teach me how to play. He taught me how to compete, how to lead, how to be a man. He's still my example of the father I want to be, my son Theo. Dad, I love you. Thank you. For those of you looking at me like, who is this Aaron Huber guy? You might know me by a different name as Sherry Huber's little brother. It only makes sense that I'm following her into the Hall of Fame roughly 2 years later, just like I followed her my whole life. She's 2 years older than me. Sherry was my guiding light throughout my time at high school, and yes, the light was blinding. Teachers were always so excited to have Sherry's little brother in their class, until they quickly realized, I ain't Sherry. I was not the little brother that was promised in the prophecy. Not that I was a bad student, I just didn't get 230% A++, A1 like my sister did. I was satisfied with 91% A-. I know my brother Eric is thankful. I was the buffer between him and my sister. Sherry set the bar high, I came in and lowered the bar. I lowered it so much that my brother was viewed as the little brother that was promised. The prophecy finally came true with him. I did my best to fill her size 5 shoes, or whatever child size shoe she wears, but my size 13s were never big enough. Love you, Sherry. Eric, my little brother, my favorite rival. As you can imagine, Eric and I have a long, complicated history. From the time he was 4 years old, he was already plotting how to become older than me. He has yet to reveal that plan, or maybe that plan is still in motion as we speak, so I'm gonna walk carefully off the stage. Eric pushed me every single day. He would practice. He was talking about practice, man, just like Allen Iverson. I could not let him outwork me, so I practiced more and more. He pushed me more than he knows. Some of my favorite memories are playing varsity basketball and baseball with him. There are pictures of us together on the court and the field that I'll keep forever. The basketball pictures together were rare because, of course, I fouled out a lot. I think I fouled out half of my senior season basketball. So many blocks were clean that were called fouls, for the record. But when I fouled out, my little brother would take my spot. We had 3 triple overtime games my senior year, and I played in 0 of those 9 overtimes. Spoiler, I fouled out late in the 4th quarter. We would go on to win all 3 triple overtime games with Eric holding down the fort for me. Growing up, Eric was always there when I wanted him around and also when I didn't want him around. In his defense, that's what little brothers are. But now that I'm older, it is clear I always needed my little brother and always will. Love you, Eric. Mom, thank you for being the loudest fan and my #1 fan. Your woo and signature clap are burned in my memory forever, just like Sherry and Eric. And woo! Eric and Sherry know that for sure. You never complained, you just showed up with your gum and slammed Pepsis and cheered us on. You controlled the chaos that was Sherry, Aaron, and Eric. Love you, Mom. Katie, my wife, I didn't know you in high school, but thank you for graduating so we can meet in college. Go Norse, I saw the Keelans. Go Norse. You give me the best titles I'll ever have, husband and now dad. I was lucky enough to be a 3-sport athlete at North Scott, football, basketball, baseball. I wanted to play tennis, but I was overruled. I was blessed to earn all-state honors On the football field, I rushed for a lot of yards, scored a lot of touchdowns. In baseball, I got on base almost half of my at-bats. I had good players hitting in front of me in the lineup so I could drive in runs, better known as RBIs for non-baseball knowers. But the numbers never mattered as much to me as the people beside me. I want to thank the coaches that helped shape me. Coach Buddy, I was happy to see you here. Coach Buddy was my 5th grade teacher. I think I was maybe his 3rd year teaching. I still remember at recess, I crossed up some kid that had never played basketball before, and Coach Buddy goes, "Good shh, Huber." He didn't say shh, but. And then I ran the layup. So years later, he took over for the varsity basketball program and asked my dad to join him as his assistant. That told me everything I needed to know about the kind of coach Coach Buddy was going to be. Short story, my first varsity basketball game was against Dubuque Wahlert my sophomore year. Coach Buddy always believed in me. He did so much, he believed in me so much that he took me when I was 5'10", 160 pounds, and put me on 6'4", 230-pound Eric May, my first game ever. Eric May ended up playing basketball at the University of Iowa, so the mismatch was rather large. I was scared to death, but Coach Buddy challenged me. At that age, I didn't know how to control my emotions. I was a wreck before the game. I was excited, scared, crying. It was quite the scene. I didn't know if I was going to make it out of that locker room. But before the starting lines were announced, Coach Buddy pulled me aside and said, "F him. You are Aaron Huber." And then Eric May was a freight train. He ended up scoring 20-plus points. But I made his job difficult, so difficult that he ended up taking me and throwing me to the ground, telling him to get off of him. When that happened, I had incredible upperclassmen to lead me. Blake Anderson, Ryan Voss, Adam Netwell, all came running to defend me. From that moment on, I was never scared. I got under the skin of Eric May. My teammates had my back. For some reason, people always hated me guarding them. I guess I shut them down, I don't know. Coach Tippett, my high school football coach, he was also my homeroom teacher. So every morning turned into a football quiz. He made the game fun, and he believed in me as well. No matter whether it was 100 degrees or minus 20, he'd always yell 70 and sunny around on the field. With what I can only describe as a joyous gallop. If you've ever seen him run, it's kind of like a joyous, long-legged gallop. Coach Tippett, you love the game of football and coaching with everything you have, and was truly blessed to be coached by you. Coach Hoffmiller and Tufte were my sophomore football coaches. They talked about Simon the Lion story and riding the wave and some other things that I was supposed to understand, but I didn't. But they were really helped me believe that I could play varsity football. It became clear that I could when I ran for 400 yards in a game. I mean, that makes it pretty clear sophomore year. Coach Stu, thank you for your time, your belief, and your patience in me. I was lucky enough to be around for your first year at North Scott. I know you were disappointed that I was a basketball player, not a wrestler. I know I confused Coach Stu early on. I could see in his eyes, he was thinking, "You're telling me this kid is to be feared on the football field? He is over here playing somewhere over the rainbow, full blast over the speakers in the weight room." Clearly, I was his least favorite DJ in the weight room. I would change his Breaking Benjamin song to Aaron's Party by Aaron Carter. If you still have some of those old CDs, I would love to have them, Coach. I also want to thank Scott Campbell. I was probably the worst interview ever. He would always say something along the lines of, "Aaron, you had a great game today, 2 touchdowns, 120 yards. It looked like there were some big holes out there for you to run through." He is clearly setting me up to praise the O-line, but I was so shy and nervous, I would just say, "Yes, thank you." He'd follow up that wordsmith of a response with, "Your O-line had a great game. They were really moving people out of your way." My response was, "Yes, they did great." Through the years, I improved and provided sentences, at least, for the North Scott Press to use. Last week, I had a phone interview with North Scott Press, and they're probably thinking right now, "You mean he was worse than what I had last week?" Scott, I want to personally thank you for your long career championing North Scott community and the athletes at North Scott. North Scott is very blessed to have North Scott Press and to have you definitely pave the way for it. Coach, sorry, this is over your 2-3 minutes. I consulted with others and said I could have. All right. Coach Moore, I don't know how many of you guys know Coach Moore. This is a quick story. He was my running backs coach my junior and senior year. To paint a picture on the football field, he was like Farmer Fran from Waterboy, if you know what I'm talking about. That guy. But in the classroom, he was an English teacher. Interesting, right? But Coach Moore liked to call me Thunder, or Thunda for short. Because Craig Liskey or Matt Pacia, I can't quite remember, they coined the nickname Thundercats for myself. I never approved it, but they just ran with it. This was pre-NIL, so I couldn't profit off of it. But as I walked through the halls, Coach Moore would yell from 100 feet away, "Thunder! Thunder better be drinking water and not cramping like Mr. Anderson." My teammate Travis Anderson cramped every practice, every game. He could never figure it out. But throughout my entire time in high school, I'd walk through the hallways. He'd be 10 feet from me. It'd be lower, like, thunder. It'd be 100 feet away, but thunder. So he was a big part of the hallways in my high school career. I tell this story because it makes me smile and reminds me that I have way more memories from practices, roaming the halls of North Scott, and hanging out with my friends in Matt Jelinski's basement every weekend for 6+ years than I do from the games themselves. Yes, the games are intense and what you work for, but I remember the process, the journey, the support from friends and family more than the achievement. If I'm allowed, these things everyone always gives advice to the younger people. That makes me old now, I guess. My advice is simple, and it's just to have fun. Of course, work hard, have discipline, and strive to be great, but enjoy the process. I'm still deeply connected with my childhood friends from elementary school and junior high: Nathan Nolan, Matt Jelinski, Anthony Isley, Austin Fleetwood, Jared Kupris, Cameron Kristoff, Ryan Greenwood, Brandon Voss, I think I saw Voss is here, and Matt McKinney, who is here today as well. Oh, Matt, and of course, Jonathan William Runchi Daters. We always forget John for some reason. Yes, that is his real name. You can find him on Spotify as OG Johnny D. Unfortunately, athleticism eventually leaves. I pulled my calf a month ago and I'm still recovering. But the relationships you build can last a lifetime. Yes, I worked hard, was gifted athletically and ultra competitive, and wanted to dominate every game. But what gave me an edge was I was always having fun. I would heel click over baselines, running out to my position as shortstop. The infield, we as the infield would sing the anthem as a quartet, changing who sang tenor or bass every game behind second base. Football practices were hard, but as a team we had an amazing chemistry because we were working hard and having a lot of fun. Every practice, Matt Jelinski was out on the scout team singing original songs, trying to get in our heads. Stretching before practice was called pre-practice back in the day. And every day Jelinski would sing, "Pre-practice, God, pre-practice. Oh, today will be a lot of fun. I pray to God we don't have to run. Pre-practice, God, pre-practice." You know Jelinski is pretty spot on. He doesn't have a Spotify persona, but Johnny D does. So my message is have fun, have fun, have fun. You'll remember the process and the people far more than you'll remember the games. North Scott, I'm getting there. Scott Campbell's probably like, what in the world? North Scott is a very special place. I grew up wanting nothing more than to hear Mr. Denner call out, "3-point basket, Aaron Huber." I heard him say, "Foul on Aaron Huber, his 5th." More than 3-point basket. His famous line, "This is the pit, the home of the Lancers," will forever ring in the rafters of the pit, along with his iconic Lancer cheer. Can I get a little interactive? Is that okay? All right. I was happy to see Mr. Denner's wife here today because I had this little portion in here. But sorry, Theo and Katie, my wife. Theo's gonna hate this, but I want to do a Lancer cheer in honor of Mr. Denner. If you guys all would like to join. So if you all, I don't know if the younger folk know it that well, but softball team will carry us. All right, so everyone stand up. Come on. Everyone clap. Come on. Come on. Come on. Softball team carried me too. Thank you. I'm a terrible speller. But I hope this speech proves I deserve that A in speech class. If it doesn't, North Scott, sorry, it's been 15 years. You can't change my grade. There we go. There you go. That's all I got. Throughout the years, people have asked me, what would I do if I never got in the Hall of Fame? I guess we'll never know. Thank you, Lancer Nation. This is an honor I always cherish. Love North Scott. I'll always be a Lancer. Until next time, Dad, we going bye-bye.
He does speak. A lot. That was awesome, Aaron. Thank you. I don't know how many of you remember the movie Superman. Picture the main character, a bespectacled Clark Kent, who posed as an unassuming newspaper journalist by day, but his alter ego was something else. When crime came calling in the fictional city of Metropolis, off came the glasses, on came the cape, and the person who emerged out of the proverbial phone booth was none other than Superman. Now, picture sitting mat side at a North Scott wrestling meet in the winter of 2007. In one corner sat coaches Dan Mastrick and Eugene Cryer. Eventually, one particular wrestler would join them. Off would come the glasses, on would go the headgear, and soon, in fact, 145 times in his 4-year career, that wrestler's arm would always be raised at the end of the match. That wrestler was North Scott's Superman. That wrestler was Stu Gilmore. Instead of a newspaper reporter, Gilmore always reminded me of a stereotypical college professor. He was a true student of the game, well-disciplined, and usually, like Aaron, a man of few words. Instead, Gilmore let his wrestling do the talking. He literally burst onto the North Scott wrestling scene in the winter of 2004 as a freshman phenom, where he claimed his first MAC title, first district title, and qualified for his first state tournament. Once in Des Moines, he won his first match, but got eliminated by the eventual second and fourth place finishers. After his second defeat, which knocked him off the podium with a 32-12 record, he was honest when we spoke. "I wasn't in it today," he said, disappointment written all over his face. "I'm definitely going to be back next year and do better." The professor was a prophet. By the time his sophomore season rolled around, Gilmore was a known quantity. He captured his second MAC title, got upset in district finals, and entered the state meet with a number 8 ranking and a 31-5 record. He got pinned by the 3rd-ranked wrestler in his opening match, but followed that up with 2 consolation round wins that secured him a spot on the Saturday night podium. He eventually finished 8th, but he had secured his first state medal. That podium finish provided a taste of things to come, as Gilmore was a marked man his junior year. He claimed his third straight MAC title, claimed his second district championship, and took a 38-3 record into his third state tournament, where he entered ranked number 4. In Des Moines, he barely broke a sweat in his first 2 matches and easily advanced to Friday's semifinals, where he was favored to win. Unfortunately, things didn't go his way. He lost a 5-4 decision to the eventual state champion and a wrestler he had defeated earlier in the year. He went on to finish 4th, capping a 41-win season. Afterward, like a professor, he was philosophical. I could have been higher if I had wrestled a little better, he said. I'm not where I want to be. I fell short of my goals, but I'll be back. After that loss, Gilmore took just 2 weeks off and then was back in the wrestling room with his nose to the grindstone. Already just one of 5 3-time state qualifiers in school history, he was looking to become just a second Lancer to book 4 trips to Des Moines, and he wanted that elusive state championship. Those dreams came true his senior year. Gilmore climbed as high as number 2 in the state rankings by mid-season, but suffered a couple of tough losses at the Ed Winger Invitational in late January, including a 3-2 decision to top-ranked Daniel Twitto of Cedar Falls. For Gilmore, it was time to regroup. He did and went on a roll. He became the first North Scott wrestler to claim 4 MAC titles, and he led the Lancers to the MAC team title. He claimed his 3rd district title and headed to Des Moines, ranked 4th at 145 pounds. Gilmore opened his final state tournament with 2 convincing wins, and that set up a rematch with Twitto, who had beaten him in January. Twitto was then ranked number 3, and he had upset the number 1 wrestler in the quarterfinals. This time, Gilmore was ready. This time, he was locked and loaded and refused to be denied. He claimed a 7-4 decision that earned him a spot in Saturday night's main event. That night, when much of the state was caught in the throes of a paralyzing winter snow and ice storm, Gilmore was in paradise as he put the crowning touches on an illustrious wrestling career by capturing that elusive state championship. With his dominating 5-2 decision in the 145-pound title bout, he became just the 3rd Lancer wrestler to climb to the top step of the state tournament podium. The 3rd, only 2 before him. He raised his career record to 145-30, and the 145 victories tied him with Greg Green for the 2nd most wins in school history. He also joined Green as the school's only 4-time state qualifiers, and he and former state champion Sean Stender were the only Lancers to bring home 3 state medals. The week after Gilmore's state championship performance in Des Moines, the headline in next week's North Scott Press blared, "Stu steals the show." In reality, Stu Gilmore was the show. Following graduation, Gilmore took his talents to the vaunted University of Iowa Wrestling Room, where he was a 3-year letter winner for the Hawkeyes and part of three NCAA championship teams. That, my friends, is quite a legacy. Good things come to those who wait, and Stu Gilmore has waited long enough. In fact, the question begs to be asked, what took so long, and who in the heck is on that Hall of Fame committee? It's been 19 years since Stu Gilmore stamped his ticket to the Hall of Fame on that blustery February night in Des Moines, where he braved the cold to bring home the gold. And tonight, that golden ticket gets redeemed. Tonight, it's time to officially welcome Stu Gilmore as the 121st member of the North Scott Hall of Fame.
Find the speech here. I don't think I can beat the last one. I'll keep it to the 3 minutes. Well, I'm excited to be here and honored to be joining this fraternity of great North Scott Lancer legends. It means a lot to be recognized by your hometown and home area. So just really humbled and thank you, committee. I think most athletes can all agree it takes a lot of support and help along the way in order to reach goals and milestones. So to me, this award is just as much about my family as me. I have to thank my mom and dad first. If it wasn't for my mom, I wouldn't be standing here actually, because she got me started in wrestling. I think it was like 1994 or so. She saw the North Scott Press and the kids club, and told my dad how I looked cute in wrestling singlet. So, thanks, Mom. I think my dad told her, "Go sign me up," and she took me to my first 2 practices, I think, and then everyone after that until I could drive. My dad took me. So. I can't thank my dad enough for all the time, energy, and support over the years, and money too. Going to tournaments all across the country in Iowa. I'm sure there were certain times when you wanted a weekend off and maybe chase some rooster pheasants or do something else you wanted to, but I appreciate all the help getting me and my brother Walt as far as we could. Speaking of Walt, I had to thank my brother as well. Helps a lot to have a built-in practice partner and training buddy, but also a best friend as well. So, from the kids club days, doing wind sprints on our lane, pull-ups in our barn, off-season workouts at a variety of schools, all the way up to the Hawkeye wrestling room, you were always there with me. So, thanks for pushing me and listening and chasing goals together. We might not have reached all of them, but we were still the 38th set of brothers to wrestle at the University of Iowa, so it's cool in my book. Also want to thank all the coaches I had over the years, from the kids club up through middle school, high school, and college. It was especially a pleasure to wrestle for Dan Mashik and Coach Kreider and the whole staff here. And also just want to thank all the past teammates I had. Was fortunate to come up with a good group of guys, good era of wrestling here. Really lot of quality guys, state place winners, state champions, too many to name. So it was fun to be on a lot of competitive teams. It was some great times for me. Thanks to North Scott for hosting this event, and thanks again for the recognition. Have a good night, and go Lancers.
A couple things I noticed. I coached baseball back in the day when Aaron came here, so that is actually more than I heard him talk ever in my life. I'd like to think a lot of it he's kind of forgot about the role I played as freshman baseball coach. I think he came to about 3 practices, and they're like, "Yeah, that ain't gonna happen for you, coach. He's moving up," so that was cool. The other thing about that, when you talked about Scott pressure being on his shoulders, I instantly wrote down that is factually inaccurate. It was entirely on his calves. That dude had a set of calves on him back in the day. It was wild. I also jotted down, as Evan was talking about her schedule, sounds pretty tough, but tomorrow I'm going to wake up early, take a van full of girls to a golf meet in Ottumwa, ride around in a cart most of the day, then drive back. So that, I'm going to say, is pretty tough too. I mean, your schedule, whew, that 75-minute practice in the morning and then after school, that was probably tough, swimming the whole time. But riding in a golf cart is a lot harder than it looks. So I'm going to try my best to see if I can match the hard work you put in. So again, it was awesome to hear from all the Lancer alums and obviously the softball team and Stu as well. What amazing accomplishments, and it'll be neat in 10, 15, 20 years down the line, we have some of our current seniors coming here as well. So we're going to have them come on down so we can honor them. get them their plaques, and then we have a few other awards for the seniors, and then we'll wrap up the night. Younger me could have talked for a long time, but again, like Evan, I've got an early schedule, and so I just want to make sure I don't talk too long for that. So we'll get these seniors going. Looks like Elise has them all organized over there. Now, just like Aaron had some big accomplishments here in speech class, we're going to see about them and how well they can stay in line, because they were actually in line up there alphabetically. I know what I saw with my own 2 eyes. Can they walk from there to there and across? Now, it's, again, I've had a lot of them in class. I'm cautiously optimistic, but I'm also a realist. So, Addie, we ready? Okay. Our first senior, Addie Allen. Next up, Carson Allen. Amira Blackwell. AJ Blevins. AJ will be riding in that van tomorrow, so she's got a big day tomorrow too. Hopefully you got the nerds clusters. I get kind of worn out during the meets, so I need that candy. Katie Brader. Peyton Brenner. Anna Campbell. Last year they complained because I went too fast on the names and they got backed up over here. So this year they put some numbers up here for me, I think. So now when they hit a certain number, I know I can say the next person's names. That's pretty cool. Good job back there, Jason. Next up, Paige Kuhn. Lindy Deuce. Sam Dickman. Chloe Dorr. Addison Eckhart.
I'm in the van tomorrow.
She's also in the van tomorrow. Her snack choices aren't as good though, so leave her behind. Next up, Chase Edgren. Landon Gollinghorse. Colton Gooding. Cole Green. Ainsley Haight. Addison Harms. Davis Hooper. Brady Hubner. Clean your room. Maybe your car, your laundry, any of the above. Just pick one. Riley Inch. Reese Jackson. Grady James. Adeline Johnson. Evan Kepi. Kira Kosarik. Cohen Cranback. Evan Cruzy. I saw some slight shenanigans over there, so I was trying to figure out who the blue shirt was, and, well, the blue shirt is Ben Lytle. I was nervous. Scotty McCoy. Will McDermott. Connor Meskimen. Kale Mess. Addison Michael. Allie Moeller. Peyton Murphy. Derek Nimke. Natalie Nowatchuk. Cody Powell. Landon Pratt. Baron Raddick. Nolan Reese. Henry Reek. Marin Robertson. Brooke Roca. Vaughn Roseman. Vaughn was also in a lot of band rides over the years with boys golf, but the vibe in the boys band's a little different than the girls one. A lot less concern about hair, UVs, and stuff like that. Brett Rouse. Brett Ryan. Claire Schnorenberg. Don't worry, Claire, we won't tell your parents about the lack of shoulder brace wearing you've been doing the last few weeks at school. I'm sure you know more than the doctor. Russell Squires. Bryn Stevens. It's another golf van rider tomorrow. Looking forward to it. She's a real morning person, so she's gonna love it. Caden Timmerman. Aubrey Toohey. She's another van rider. Well, we go, every town we go to, random town, there's always somebody she's related to in there. That is one heck of a family tree. I cannot wait for that graduation party. That is going to be awesome. Carter Unwin. Maya Vogt. Spencer Voss. Gavin Welch. Caleb Willis. And our final senior night, Natalie Willis. Let's give a big round of applause to all of our senior athletes that can make it tonight. Now I have a handful of awards we're going to hand out before we conclude the evening with the picture video of the senior athletes. First one we've got is the presentation of North Scott Athletic Booster Scholarships. Each year, graduating student athletes from North Scott have the opportunity to apply for a $500 scholarship for the Booster Club. The Boosters give away 8 scholarships each year. The recipients this year are as followed. After you come up here, do you want a picture, Jason? Picture? Stay up here, picture? Go ahead and stay up here after you get it. Group picture. That way parents can grab one and they can get one for the social media business too. Okay, our winners this year. Cole Green, Addison Eckhart, Ben Lytle, Davis Hoper, Anna Campbell, Addie Allen, Allie Moeller, and Landon Propt. This is the best photographer we could find. Oh my God, Bree Harms, you're here somewhere. Thank you, thank you. Their eyes will be closed, they'll be looking who knows where. Let's get a real picture. Jason probably emailed or called her, and that's why he never got done. I guess there's my end of the year golf review coming up. I should probably be a little nicer to Jason. You guys want to sit down? I don't want to have to work every day in the spring and fall, so I got to keep that gig. The next one is our Tri-Sport Athlete Awards. Starting in 2011, the North Scott Athletic Department started giving the award called the Tri-Sport Athlete Award. This award is given to a graduating senior who participated in at least 3 sports for each year they were in high school. The Tri-Sport Athlete is becoming more and more rare these days as athletes specialize and get jobs and do a variety of other things. The class of 2026 has 2 athletes who are Tri-Sport Athlete recipients. They are Davis Hoper and Addie Allen. Bree, you're going to have to hang out for about the next 5 minutes. There's a handful more pictures that need to get taken. Congratulations to the two of them. The next awards are presented to the Strength Training Award. It's an award given each year by Coach Stu. He honors one male and one female athlete who have shown great leadership and work ethic in the weight room throughout their high school career. Their picture will be displayed in the weight room throughout the year as well as in the athletic programs at the high school. This year's recipients are two multi-sport athletes who have been incredibly consistent throughout their high school careers. Our female winner is Aubrey Toohey, and our male winner is Cole Green. Congratulations to Aubrey and Cole. Our next award is the E. Wayne Cooley Award. Each Iowa school has the opportunity to nominate one female student for the prestigious E. Wayne Cooley Scholarship. This award was established in 1993 as a tribute to the man who served as the executive director of the Iowa High School Girls Athletic Union from 1954 to 2002. The nominee of this award is recognized as being a representative of the most elite of the Iowa girl on the playing field, in the classroom, school, and community. Her profile reflects discipline, perseverance, character, citizenship, and leadership, which personified the life and expectations of E. Wayne Cooley. The 2026 North Scott nominee for the E. Wayne Cooley Scholarship is Addie Allen. Addie is the daughter of Cody and Kim Allen. She plans to attend Simpson in the fall and be a member of the volleyball team. Congratulations, Addie. Our next award is the Lisa Brinkmeyer Award. This was formerly known as the Iowa Girl Award. It honors a graduating student athlete who has distinguished themselves throughout their high school career in the areas of academic achievement, athletics excellence, service, and leadership. The Iowa Girls Union encourages each member school to honor its top graduating female student athlete whose experience as a scholar, athlete, and leader in her school and her community has influenced her life and empowered her to be a positive impact on others. The eligibility on the award is completed and earned, has to do with completing and earning varsity letters, a minimum grade point average, and is a graduating senior this year. This year, each school gets one nominee. Our nominee in North Scott this year is Anna Campbell. Anna is the daughter of Darren and Trish Campbell. She plans to attend the University of Iowa. Great job, Anna. Talking with your mom at dinner tonight, sounds like this grad party is getting pretty fancy. Based on what Zach and Ryan did, I think there's a little bit more put into the creative elements of your grad party than the boys. So, I'm sure Darren's playing a key role in all that. He's a pretty creative guy. Trish, you just take a back seat, let Darren, just let him handle it. It'll be great. All right, our next award is the Bernie Saga Award. This award is given to one senior athlete who displays leadership skills in the classroom, community, and on the playing field. Each coach is allowed to nominate a student athlete or athletes from their program. Then each coach, after they nominate them, they vote for the award. Votes are done on a ranking system, and then your school has the person you are nominating. Each school is allowed to nominate one student athlete. The 2026 North Scott nominee for the Bernie Saga Award is Cole Green. Cole is the son of Tim and Lisa Green. He plans on attending the University of Northern Iowa. Congratulations to all of our award winners tonight. Next, we ready? All right, next up, we are ready for our senior highlight video. Now, this is a video where we highlight the work from the senior athletes. A lot of work goes into this behind the scenes from Dale Tufte, Trish Campbell, and Jason Schroeder. They've compiled pictures of all of our senior student athletes. So, without further ado, here's our senior 2026 senior class video.
Hope when you take that jump, you don't feel the fall. Hope when the water rises, you build a wall. Hope when the crowd screams out, you're screaming your name. Hope if everybody runs, you choose to stay. Hope that you fall in love and it hurts so bad. Hey, the only way you can know, you give it all you had. And I hope that you don't suffer, but take the pain. Hope when the moment comes, you'll say, I did it all. Yeah, you can be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the King Kong banging on your chest. You can beat the world, you can beat the war, you can talk the guy, go banging on his door. You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock, you can move a mountain, you can break rocks. You can be a master, don't wait for luck. Dedicate yourself and you go find yourself. Sitting in the Hall of Fame, yeah. And the world's gonna know your name, yeah. 'Cause you burn with the cross flame, yeah. And the world's gonna know your name, yeah. And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. You go the distance, you can run the mile, you can walk straight through hell with a smile. You could be the hero, you get the gold, breaking all the records they thought never could be broke. Yeah, do it for your people, do it for your pride. Are you ever gonna know if you never even try? Do it for your country, do it for your name, 'cause there's gonna be a day when you're sitting in the Hall of Fame, yeah. And the world's gonna know your name, yeah. 'Cause you burn with the cross flame, yeah. And the world's gonna know your name, yeah. And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. Be a champion, be a champion, be a champion, be a champion of the Hall of Fame. You're a crack at dawn, Monday morning coffee, strong poured everything you got into a paycheck Friday night. You're a power stroke, diesel backhoe riding, king of beers, 18-wheeler driving, living life in between the lines of clocking in and quitting time. But then the six-string circus comes to town, we hang them speakers over the crowd. When the lights come on, everybody's screaming, lighters in the sky, and everybody's singing every word to every song of the girl that's taking home tonight. When the lights come on, everybody's feeling a hallelujah high from the floor to the ceiling. Yeah, the drink that we're drinking, the smoke that we're smoking, the party we throw, it's going all night long. When the lights come on, when the lights come on. You're a little shy thing with a wild side on a night like this and just can't hide, 'cause it's time to live it up. So come on and raise your cup. If we talk about memories, yeah, we gonna make them. Talk about rules, you know we gonna break them. When the lights come on, everybody's screaming, lighters in the sky, yeah, everybody's singing every word to every song of the girl that's taking home tonight. When the lights come on, everybody's feeling a hallelujah high from the floor to the ceiling. Yeah, the drink that we're drinking, the smoke that we're smoking, the party we throw, it's going all night long. When the lights come on, when the lights come on. Yeah, we all the same 'cause we thinking the same thing. We on the same page 'cause we sipping the same drink. Here's a little something to thank y'all for showing up. Al Dean and the boys are about to blow it up. When the lights come on, everybody's screaming, lighters in the sky, yeah, everybody's singing every word to every song of the girl that's taking home tonight. When the lights come on, it's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. Had the time of my life. No, I never felt like this before. Yes, I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you. I've had the time of my life. No, I never felt like this before. Forever young, I wanna be forever young. Do you really wanna live forever?
Again, as always, the Booster Club, we want to thank them for putting on an awesome evening. Jason for all the work he does behind the scenes. This does conclude our Hall of Fame and Senior Night Award. Obviously, it's been a great group. I know them better than anybody. So we look forward to celebrating the end of the school year with you guys, and then going on to a great summer and then awesome futures. Thank you again to the Hall of Fame inductees for showing up and sharing your experiences. And again, thank you to the seniors and your families for showing up tonight. Everybody have a great evening and drive home safely.